Good morning. Thank you, Vic. Imagine this scenario 20 years from now. You are driving across Kansas, headed to Colorado. The grass is not even there in the pastures that have a few cattle. The fields look parched, the air is dark and dusty. It's hard to breathe, and even the cattle look miserable, not happy. We don't have to envision this picture, though. How could we help save our planet and our health at the same time? I'd like to explain to you a little bit of what I've been learning about soils, animal, carbon, and what we can do to help our environment. Our soil is one of the best sources of life on our planet, but it is disappearing at such unimaginable rates. The UN's Food and Agriculture section says we have 60 years of harvest left at this current rate of soil loss. So in one generation, we may no longer be able to feed ourselves. Why is this? Over 1/3 of the Earth's landmass is grasslands. Underneath all of that grass is soil. All of the expanses of grasses, like our beautiful Flint Hills here in Kansas, are key players in balancing our ecosystem. When grasslands are thriving, the soils are teeming with life. The soil acts like a sponge, soaking up water to recharge the aquifers, like our own Ogallala aquifer that is beneath most of Kansas. Also, healthy soils help create habitats for wildlife. Every blade of grass is acting like a little solar panel, pulling CO2 out of the atmosphere and turning it into soil organic matter, turning sunlight into life through the magic of photosynthesis. The problem is our grasslands aren't thriving. Experts say up to 70% of them are dying or being destroyed, turning into deserts, known as desertification. Gosh, that's a big word. There is a symbiotic relationship between plants and animals. With grasslands, the symbiosis is with ruminant animals, or animals with more than one stomach. The herds of wildebeest in Africa, or the bison herds of North America, help sustain the grasses by staying tightly bunched for protection, eating, urinating, leaving dung behind as they moved on until those grasses had recovered. The problem is not that the livestock is destructive to the land because they are necessary for healthy grasslands. Animals are part of the solution. Humans have thrown the natural order out of whack, but we can help this by using livestock as a tool. Some farmers have mismanaged livestock on their lands and destroyed the ecosystem. A rancher can properly manage her livestock and regenerate the land, a concept known as regenerative agriculture. This concept includes cover cropping, reduced tillage, planned grazing, which all have the potential to build soil health and put carbon back in the ground. Also, animals being controlled in a careful, intentional manner by matching the number of animals to available forage, honoring the recovery rate of grasses, and creating grazing plans that are in line with the natural rhythms of the environment. Simply rotating the pastures is something I enjoy doing. We have the potential to regenerate the grasslands and also in the process to sequester massive amounts of carbon out of the air and put back in the soil. Why is carbon so important? Atmospheric carbon has continued to rise throughout the world and will continue unabated unless changes are made. When we drive cars, fly airplanes, burn coal in electric plants, we are sending carbon into the atmosphere. It changes our environment, our air, our lives. But there is now a global movement that is beginning to see changes in how our environment can be healed. This is where I come in. Properly managed livestock and ecosystems can coexist and both actually benefit from restorative, regenerative practices. Animals are a powerful solution to climate change. Carbon is sequestered and people eat healthy protein. Factory farming, industrialized agriculture, and feedlots that feed massive amounts of grain are the basis for CO2 in the agricultural sphere. Statistics from regenerative farming practices, however, draw down carbon and improve our atmosphere. The massive potential we have to restore our grasslands around the world is right before us. Holistic management of our land should be welcomed by farmers, environmentalists, even soccer moms. Join the movement with me and switch to grass-fed and finished beef that has been raised on pasture, as opposed to being fed massive amounts of grain in feedlots. Anyone who cares about life on this planet and our continued existence depends on the action of people willing to help the grasslands. Hopefully 20 years from now, if you're driving across Kansas, the fields will be bountiful, the grasslands lush, and the cattle well cared for and happy, and the people breathing fresh, clean air. We can all do a small part to help our environment. I hope to help with my grass-fed and finished beef. Regenerative agriculture is part of the solution. Thank you.